It's an interesting thing to be called influential. It's not only an honor, it's a significant responsibility. How we use that matters. Who and what we stand up for and what we stay silent about matters.
I'm definitely hoping for some sort of a selfie in the distance with both Blake Lively and Meghan Markle, since they provided me with so many hours of content.
Blake Lively showed up at the Time 100 Gala thinking it would be a night of celebration. Instead, she got confronted live by Megyn Kelly. And now, the internet can't stop talking about it. Now, Blake is locked in a messy lawsuit with her It Ends With Us co-star and director Justin Baldoni, accusing him of harassment, and he fired back with a $400 million countersuit for defamation. But despite the legal chaos, Blake walked the Time 100 red carpet, and what happened next blindsided everyone. Blake recently showed up at the Time 100 Gala, an annual event where Time magazine celebrates the 100 most influential people in the world. The event, held in New York City, brings together leaders, artists, and innovators from various industries for speeches, performances, and of course, plenty of red carpet moments. At the gala, Blake Lively was honored as one of Time's 100 most influential people of 2025. But fans aren't buying it. Many online are now questioning why Blake was selected, with theories suggesting that her place on the list might be more about money than merit. Andy Senior pointed out that the only reason Blake even got invited could be linked to a donation she made 6 years ago.
But it's really odd because the article that talks about it really just focuses on a donation she made like 6 years ago. A donation she made because they got married at a plantation and it looked really bad. She's done a lot of weird racist stuff. So to right that wrong, she gave a donation 6 years ago. And that's why apparently she's on this list.
Andy also criticized Blake for using the gala spotlight to position herself as a survivor amid her legal battle with Justin Baldoni, even though she didn't directly mention the case in her speech.
But I'm taking a moment to really process and accept the fact she used this as an opportunity to now try to paint herself as a survivor. To all the survivors who watch, I know we have a lot in our audience. I'd like to hear your comments. Please, if there's a video you comment on, please share your comments. I may actually share some of them in a future video. How do you feel after Miss Blake Lively is now putting herself as the face of survivors and women? Now, I want to go through the real speech. Here's the entire toast. Thank you so much for having me tonight. It's as an honoree amongst you all, as well as those who've come before, is surreal and deeply significant. In a time where the most valuable currency seems to be anger, it feels like an act of defiance to commune and celebrate all the good that is alive in the world. And the many here tonight who either challenge the system and or show us the magic exists on Earth in their gifts, talents, bravery, art, and life, or anybody rich enough to have sway to get this award for giving a donation 6 years ago because you got married on a plantation. I added that part, that wasn't in there.
So how does Megyn Kelly fit into all of this? Well, Megyn Kelly was also at the Time 100 Gala this year. She's a two-time honoree, first recognized in 2014, and again this year.
Like a reigning Jeopardy champion.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been a few times because I got inducted back in 2014. And I got to be honest, when they inducted me again this year, I was like, did they forget that they already put me on this list back in 20? I don't even know if can you be inducted twice? I have no idea.
You can.
Yeah.
After attending the event, Megyn didn't hold back. She later slammed Time magazine for including Blake at all, calling it a scam and questioning how someone like Blake Lively could truly be considered one of the most influential people in the world.
And Blake Lively has been in some movies and some successful TV shows, but in no world is this person one of the most influential people in America. This is part of what you say is the scam.
Before we get to the actual confrontation footage, it's important to understand what Blake said during her speech that night. Blake used her moment to talk about the meaning of being influential, and although she didn't directly reference her lawsuit with Baldoni, she hinted heavily at her ongoing legal battles. "I have so much to say about the last 2 years of my life, but tonight is not the forum," she said. Blake also opened up about her mother's past, revealing that her mom never received justice after being assaulted years before Blake was born.
It's an interesting thing to be called influential. It's not only an honor, it's a significant responsibility. How we use that matters. Who and what we stand up for and what we stay silent about matters. I have so much to say about the last 2 years of my life, but tonight is not the forum. My life was influenced most by my mother. She wanted me to share with you that she is a survivor of the worst crime someone can commit against a woman. I've watched her conceal her raw and undeserved shame my entire life. So as her daughter, being asked to share this today is monumental. My mom never got justice from her work acquaintance who attempted to take her life when she was the mother of 3 young kids years before I was born. She has always credited her beating heart today with the story she heard from another woman in a similar circumstance, speaking on the radio as my mom drove home one day. The woman painfully and graphically shared how she escaped. I am here, and my mom is here, because that woman not only survived, but she told others how. Never underestimate a woman's ability to endure pain.
While Megyn Kelly respected Blake's personal pain regarding her mother, she criticized the timing of including that story in a gala speech, implying it was used to bolster her public image amid the lawsuit.
Why she would make her whole speech about her mother's trauma from more than 45 years ago, I don't know. But that was the darkest view of womanhood in America that I think I've ever heard from a public figure at an awards ceremony like this. She goes on, you heard it there. We don't let our daughters know, but one day we break their hearts by letting them in on the secret that we've kept from them as they pranced around in princess dresses that they are not and will likely never be safe. Not at work, not at home, not in a parking lot, in a medical office, not online, not in any space they inhabit. Not physically, not emotionally, not professionally. Thank you. Thank you. My God, what did you make of it?
With all that tension simmering, Megyn Kelly and Blake Lively's paths finally crossed live at the event, and yes, the confrontation would soon break the internet. After Blake Lively's emotional speech at the Time 100 Gala, where she hinted at her legal battle without directly addressing it, the energy in the room shifted, and it didn't take long for Megyn Kelly to make her presence known. Later, Megyn Kelly shared a red carpet clip where she didn't hold back her real thoughts about Blake Lively. She criticized Time magazine's decision to honor Blake, calling it a bad move, especially considering Blake's ongoing legal controversy with Justin Baldoni.
Here's how that went.
So who are you most looking forward to seeing tonight?
Well, I'm definitely hoping for some sort of a selfie in the distance with both Blake Lively and Meghan Markle, since they provided me with so many hours of content.
There's a lot of controversy right now with Blake being on the Time 100 list.
It's a ridiculous joke. She shouldn't be there. She has no influence over anything.
Right. I mean, what do you think of when you read headlines like every day about her and Justin?
I mean, I think she launched a fake Me Too allegation against him, and she's lived to regret doing it because virtually every allegation she has made has fallen apart. And so for her to be honored for doing that, to try to ruin a man over absolutely nothing, is a scandal.
Yeah.
And obviously they're looking for big stars to come here and generate pages on their magazines, but that was very wrong.
Right.
In the red carpet interview, when asked about how she felt attending the same event as Blake Lively, Megyn Kelly made it clear she wasn't planning to avoid anyone. When asked if she would be avoiding Blake inside the event, Megyn replied confidently, "Blake is going to be the one avoiding me. I'm not avoiding her. I'm confronting her without any fear."
I have a feeling she's going to be avoiding me. I won't be avoiding anybody. I'm good.
And what do you think of like her new movie, Another Simple Favor? People are saying she's feuding with Anna. Like, do you believe that? Or?
I couldn't care less, but I do care when people bastardize Me Too allegations against, people who don't deserve it. And I think, notwithstanding the fact that they can lawyer up with very powerful PR people and lawyers and so on, we have to be very clear-eyed on what looks real and what doesn't, and call it out when it isn't. Otherwise, no one who's actually experienced these things is going to be believed.
This moment quickly started gaining traction online. Fans loved seeing someone finally call out Blake Lively's behavior live at a major event instead of pretending nothing was happening. Clips of Megyn's comments spread rapidly on YouTube and TikTok, with many viewers praising her for being blunt and refusing to be fake at the gala. It's also important to remember that Megyn Kelly had already slammed Time magazine a few days after the gala, calling it a scam to put Blake Lively on the 100 most influential list. She emphasized that while Blake is a famous actress, there's no way she should be classified as one of the most powerful or influential people on earth.
And Blake Lively has been in some movies and some successful TV shows, but in no world is this person one of the most influential people in America. This is part of what you say is the scam.
Megyn didn't just criticize Blake's legal troubles. She specifically took aim at the idea that Blake's speech about her mother's assault and the importance of speaking out was carefully timed to generate sympathy during the legal scandal.
Why she would make her whole speech about her mother's trauma from more than 45 years ago, I don't know. But that was the darkest view of womanhood in America that I think I've ever heard from a public figure at an awards ceremony like this.
By the time the footage of the confrontation made its rounds online, it was clear this wasn't going to be swept under the rug. Megyn Kelly's boldness reignited debates across social media about whether Blake Lively's entire appearance at the gala was carefully staged damage control, or if she really deserved to be there at all. Whatever you believe, one thing's for sure. This wasn't just another Hollywood gala full of fake smiles and silent judging. Thanks to Megyn Kelly, it turned into a genuine showdown, and the internet absolutely. The drama didn't stop after the Time 100 Gala. In fact, it kept getting worse for Blake Lively, as new reports started emerging from Hollywood insiders and celebrities. First, RadarOnline.com reported that Reese Witherspoon has never liked Blake Lively. According to Hollywood insider Rob Shooter, Reese's dislike stems from how Blake has treated people over the years. Shooter wrote, "Reese still doesn't like her. She never did. Blake's been cold, dismissive, and downright rude to people Reese respects, and Reese doesn't forget that kind of thing." Then there's Taylor Swift, one of Blake's most famous friends. According to an insider who spoke to Entertainment Tonight, Taylor doesn't want to be involved in Blake's lawsuit with Justin Baldoni at all. The insider said, Taylor does not want to be involved in Blake's legal battle with Justin. She and Travis Kelce have been laying low, traveling, and enjoying some time off and quiet time together. This isn't just bad PR, it's actually harming Blake's ongoing lawsuit, with celebrities distancing themselves and insiders speaking out against her. Blake's public image is taking a major hit right when she needs support the most. And let's not forget, Blake already had a reputation for being difficult. Many people still remember the clip where Blake joked about her Gossip Girl co-star, Leighton Meester, calling her my pet monkey in a way that didn't sit well with audiences.
Chuck has a matching pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got a few of them. Come on, it was a joke.
Meanwhile, experts have started analyzing Ryan Reynolds' behavior during his appearances at the Time 100 Gala Summit. One body language expert noted that Ryan seemed visibly uncomfortable and even suggested that he might be dealing with an emotional breakdown related to all the stress surrounding Blake's legal battles.
You cannot always control what the internet is saying about you.
What I love is he's like, oh, is this softball interviewer actually trying to go somewhere that I told her we're not allowed to go? He's like,
what the headlines are saying about you. So how has that media attention impacted your brand, your businesses?
well, I mean, it's a good question. And she didn't ask the elephant in the room, but she kind of did, right? She's like, how does all the negative attention affect your businesses? Because if you scroll through the comments of this video, Team Justin all the way. But let's hear his response.
You know, no, it's like Tina Fey says, if you're feeling good about yourself, just go online.
At this point, it's not just memes and internet jokes that Blake Lively has to worry about. It's a full industry backlash with old colleagues turning cold, celebrity friends stepping away, and even experts questioning the health of her marriage. And if Blake thought the Time Gala controversy was bad, this new wave of public criticism could be even harder to survive. At this point, Blake Lively's situation looks worse than ever. The Time 100 Gala confrontation with Megyn Kelly was just the tip of the iceberg. Between the ongoing lawsuit, the growing backlash from Hollywood insiders, and even her closest friends distancing themselves, Blake is facing one of the biggest PR nightmares of her career. Whether or not Blake deserves all the criticism, the fact remains, the public perception has shifted. And in Hollywood, perception is everything. Once your name becomes associated with controversy, it's almost impossible to undo the damage, especially when people are digging up old clips and celebrities are publicly turning their backs on you. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Blake Lively's career can survive this much backlash? Do you think Megyn Kelly was right to confront her so openly? Or do you believe Hollywood is just being hypocritical by turning on Blake now? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'll be featuring the best ones in the next video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.